Let's dive into our top focus at this hour. In a major blow to the Uighur Muslims, the UNHRC has turned down a debate on China's crackdown in Xinjiang. Among the 47-member council, 17 voted in favour, 19 members voted against and 11 abstained. China's surprise victory was met with a burst of applause at the council.
大多数人权理事会成员反对操弄涉疆问题，反对搞人权问题政治化的情况下，美西方强推这一决定草案，目的根本不是对话合作，而是制造分裂与对抗，创设将国别人权问题引入人权理事会的危险捷径。今天他们针对中国，明天他们就会针对任何一个发展中国家。
We are members of the Human Rights Council. We are here to raise situations of systemic discrimination. We are here to discuss the most serious human rights violations and abuses wherever and by whomever they are committed. There can be no doubt about the gravity and the scale of what has been reported in Xinjiang warrants such a debate.
Let's now break down the votes for you. In an expected move, China rejected the debate proposal altogether. All African members except Somalia followed Beijing, and a majority of 13 Asian nations also joined the Chinese camp. But what is raising eyebrows is that many Muslim countries have said no. Among the 17 members of the Islamic Cooperation Organization, 12 voted against the resolution, like Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Indonesia, and even Pakistan, which claims to be fighting for all Muslims worldwide. India, meanwhile, is home to more than 172 million Muslims, the second largest religion in the country. But New Delhi abstained from the UNHRC vote. Earlier, the Foreign Ministry had said that the debate is based on a UN report, so India doesn't want to comment on the same. For years, human rights groups have been sounding an alarm over what is happening in Xinjiang. The Chinese region is home to millions of Uighurs. Data suggests that most of them are kept in detention camps. There are frequent reports of torture, rape, and even deaths. The West has gone as far as calling it a genocide. However, China has maintained that these are just re-education camps. It is important to understand that a rejection like this is extremely rare for the UNHRC. A motion brought in by the Western countries usually gets a green light for discussion. This resolution was brought in by the US, the UK, Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway and Sweden. The defeat is only the second time in the Council's 16-year history. Now, for more perspective, we are now being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, let's talk about this vote. We already know India's stand on the issue, but we also heard the Foreign Ministry recently say that human rights of people of Xinjiang must be respected. Tell us more.
It's for the first time that India's Ministry of External Affairs has mentioned about human rights situation in Xinjiang. This, of course, is a message to Beijing essentially as well. We saw India abstaining at the UNHRC vote as well, but by and large that is in line with India's official stated policy that resolutions should be something that should not be country specific but issue specific. But largely, given the relationship between India and China, we have seen new normals being set in. We saw recently India mentioning about the Taiwan Strait crisis and not reaffirming the one China policy. And now this development, India raising the issue of human rights situation in Xinjiang, where, of course, the Uighurs, of course, have been subjected to violence, according to UNHRC's own report. So essentially an important development and a new policy perhaps by the Indian government regarding China.
Right, Siddhant, thanks so much for all those inputs and thanks for joining us on the broadcast at this hour. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.